Welcome back to another War Section free-for-all. In this video, I try using French tanks because if you saw my last video, he was talking about going mass French tanks, and I decided to try it out. Now, unfortunately, this fight was just disappointing. Honestly, it really was disappointing for me. Their fight was incredibly one-sided. Although I think the problem was because of purple and blue. So real quick, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I basically do nothing throughout the entire game, so I'm just gonna skip time uh, up until these guys start probably fighting. So it's probably gonna mainly see purple and blue fight for the most part, but then I come in like last minute. I did have a I was kind of slow, honestly, in most parts, for the most part, because I wasn't making a lot of the correct decisions. I'm sorry, not sorry. I wasn't paying attention to my population, and I wasn't able to get enough workers and such. And while I was actually doing really good for like my economy for like almost the entire game, um, I uh, I was just really slow at it, really slow at aging up and just progressing. I was taking my sweet time, hoping that I would let these guys, build up. Now, usually I start rushing people. I try to rush them. Like, for example, um, Orange. I would have rushed Orange, but however, one thing I will say is I actually fought Orange. He's like a number. I had fought him in like one free for all game, and I knew he was basically a noob. He actually didn't. He just made it to medieval when I made it to industrial. Yeah, I can see purple is still pretty new to this too, because yeah, they're not even sure. So we're gonna see what these guys are doing. So okay, so let's see. Purple attacks with onagers. Okay. He attacks with Ronin. Honestly, this is kind of a pitiful fight. Honestly, the thing I do is I take some longbowmen and I go in this guy's attack. Look at this. He just got medieval, and meanwhile I just got France too. So yeah, there's no helping this guy. Honestly, yeah. Okay, so really nothing happened. So we got blue attacking. Killed a bunch of his workers, honestly. So purple is not doing good. Yeah, there's orange that quits. Blue is actually really smart, and actually blue is pretty damn smart in choosing that target. He doesn't even know if anything is there. He just targeted them and actually killed a few workers. Here we got. Okay, we got purple attacking blue. I'm sorry, blue attacking purple, targeting his artillery. He's doing pretty good. Unfortunately, purple is making all the wrong decisions in this. He's building a lot of artillery when he doesn't need to. And blue should have kept pushing, probably. Honestly, I don't know. I think blue just took too long at this situation. Oh yeah, I see some nice fighting. Oh, actually, look, purple actually picks up his act. Wow, purple actually picked up his act in this situation. Goes in, attacks. Unfortunately, he's in the territory range. Oh, blue actually brought him back. And forced him. Oh, wow. There goes his artillery. Blue tricked him and think he was going around. Destroyed all of his artillery. Honestly, blue could have just kept pushing on us. Like, this entire game, blue just could have kept pushing. throughout this entire game. He could have defeated purple in a single sweep, honestly. Those knights would have just been more than enough. Like, those are heavy knights. These are heavy knights. They can't... Look at how strong they are. 12 armor thickness for a medieval unit. It's insane. Heavy knights are fucking beasts, man. It took a lot of them to even just take down, to hurt a heavy knight. Oh, then purple. Oh, wow, purple. Red is attacking purple. Purple's not having a good day, is he? Purple is not having a good day. Although he does defend himself quite well with these rocket cannons, though not enough. He retaliates, immediately regrets that. Yeah, purple's not having a good day. Purple's gone. Poor purple. Although his houses are scattered like crazy, and so is his towers. Wow, I no longer feel bad for attacking red. So real quick, I ended up getting some math. I think a little bit longer than I should have. But here you will see something that I do, and I don't know if it already happened. I think it happened, although I'm not 100% sure. So basically, I attacked blue with some Farmans, trying to weaken him. I know I didn't attack him yet because that arsenal is still alive, and the rest didn't make it. So we're once again gonna. Oh wait, here we go. So real quick, I immediately came over here against red with my French tanks. I immediately just start butchering him. Now, honestly, this fight was kind of pathetic. It was such an easy victory. He even attacked with his workers. I just come in with French tanks and just butcher him. Oh wait. Oh, there's the Farman. Yep, I attack blue's arsenal with the Farman. There it is. Honestly, this fight is kind of boring. Honestly, I don't know why I'm recording it, but it was kind of. I just wanted to test out how these French tanks would work. And honestly, they're not fighting any good targets. Kind of pathetic. Oh, but this is something I did want to show you. Okay, so this is something I did want to show you. So I had got some engineers. Now these engineers, they're not that great at building. Really, the only thing they're good at building is towers and tank traps. Or I'm sorry, hedgehogs, tank hedgehogs. They can't really build anything else, but something they can do is they can repair and they can just clear out tree lines. So you're going to see that soon. But real quick, I tanked my French tanks, and I ended up going all the way around. Now the reason I went all the way around is because I knew purple was going to just basically die, but also wanted to think purple was purple, like let purple keep soaking up the damage, but also make him think that I'm not going to attack him. And then I would come over here and then sweep behind blue, and blue would be totally caught off a surprise, and then purple would come in like a hero, and not like a hero, basically as a distraction, and then wipe him out. And also not wipe him out, attack, and then kill a bunch of his units. So yeah, that doesn't happen at all. I think blue. Like as soon as my French tanks get there, he quits. Yeah, I come in with my French tanks. I immediately start just killing all of this guy's workers. And you see blue right here quits. Yeah, there was no saving him. There was no saving him at all. But I do come in because this guy is Germany and killing all these workers is a big hit to him. I just come in with French tanks. Cause this guy has Berthas and stuff. Now I debated on just going straight for the temple, but I don't. Okay, wait, actually, wait, right here, right here, right here. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Look at these engineers. They can't gather, but they can clear trees. And look how fast this is normal speed. One hit is all it takes to clear out some of these trees. One hit. Look at them go. They're just clearing out these trees as if it's nothing. It's so satisfying to watch. Meanwhile, I let my French tanks come over here. And honestly, these French tanks, you know, in large groups, they're actually pretty damn good. Unfortunately, I still think French tanks are actually pretty shit. Not because of anything, like, you know, not because of their, you know, armor value or something. It's just the fact that they're way too expensive for just their population and metal cost for what you get. Like, a regular light tank is actually stronger than the French variant. So that's kind of like, you know, fluid, like boorish. You know, these Berthas are actually doing, you know, destroying them, which is expected from Berthas. But also, I let my French tanks die in this situation because I wanted to do something else. So one thing I do is I get tons. And you see, look at all these, look at these engineers go. So I'm sorry, I don't get tons. I get a bunch of these FCMs, fully upgraded Industrial 2 tanks. Amazing variant. Look at this. Dual guns. One does 130, which is the main gun, and then the smaller one does 70. Now you could get the C2s, which is the Industrial 1 variant, but but you only get the the 70 damage one, which is actually not good. It's no different than getting a normal French tank. It's way more expensive too. Whereas if you wait until if you just wait into Industrial 2, you can immediately get these tanks in replacement, and they do so much better. Because they can shoot two guns. Now the armor value is actually the same, I believe. So it's a good, you know, front lines kind of infantry killer. Don't expect them to do good against armor. I'm sorry, against other armor though. Really, the C2 variant is just really bad at dealing with enemy armor. But the FCM variant is amazing at dealing with enemy armor. I see, you know, I let them go, and I get tons and tons of these. Honestly, why do I keep saying tons? I only get like 4. I think I get. I'm sorry, rephrase it. I get a lot more because I do spawn a lot more, but so far you're only going to see really 3 in action. So we're gonna skip time. Look, it's 87.9 armor thickness. The armor thickness is great. I just tell them to attack move here, but then I realized, you know, that's kind of dumb because they're just attacking workers. I think I... Right here. Look at this. They can just immediately just attack on the go. There's 2 of them, so they can just keep moving and attacking it from 2 different points. Okay, right here, look at this. Look at these FCs. Look, they're just shrugging off the damage from the Berthas. And they're barely taking, this is the only one that's taking significant damage. And you want to know the best part? Is when I realized this one right here is taking so much damage, it's taken over half its health is gone, I immediately pull them back. Now you're going to wonder well, why do you pull them back? Or why don't you just keep attacking with the 2U that are good and just let this one be destroyed? Well, this is what I want to show you. I immediately get some engineers, build a tower here, and I immediately start repairing them. Also, I tried to attempt to build a factory, but it doesn't work. Boom, right there. Fully operational tank right back, right in the front lines too. So I don't have to worry about building another one. I also get some, they attempt to fix the other ones that are slightly damaged. But in other words, otherwise they're so good. Look at it. 3 fully functional, still like full health tanks back in action. Don't even have to worry about building new ones or letting the old one die. I can just immediately just say, okay, engineers, repair this, and then keep going. And right here, this guy quits then. So this is a tactic I'm probably going to do a lot more. Oh yeah, I also get some Saints right here. Great at, this is a great, the APC Saint Chamon. Really good infantry killer, because that's what it's meant for. Although, I honestly put more faith in... It's basically like an armored submachine gunner. It has a 40... Actually, it's 40 armor thickness. That's actually pretty damn good for a tank that's primary role is destroying infantry. Basically the APC Saint is basically the a really armored version of the regular APC. Incredibly, high damage and firepower, really good. Oh yeah, I also get some more APCs here. Yep, this doesn't happen. But I really do like the fact that you can repair heavy tanks early on. So, I'm sorry, in the middle of the fight. So I would recommend to people use engineers whenever you have a lot of tanks. So if you go France, especially if you go France or France, Germany, or probably Russia, probably. I guess it depends how far you are in the game. Because T-34s and IS-2s are actually pretty damn easy to get back if you have enough factories, and because they're how cheap they are. And let's see, other country, Britain maybe. I feel like Britain, yeah, I guess Britain too. But I would recommend getting at least 2 to 4 engineers. And then when you get the chance, like if you have heavy tanks that you care about, like have the engineers on standby, like hiding somewhere, and then bring the tanks back. Bring the tanks back, and then have the engineers repair it, and immediately send it to the front lines, because you don't have to worry about it coming all the way back to your base, or you don't have to worry about building your factories again. You don't have to worry about all these sorts of things when you could just immediately say, hey, we're coming here to this repair station, basically. Like, we're come here to this tower where these engineers are hiding. You could even put engineers in the tower and say, okay, here is like a little station. Bring the tanks back. I will repair them. And you don't have to just go all the way back. Now I don't know if it costs resources really. It probably does cost resources to get the tanks back. I could be wrong in terms of to repair tanks. It makes sense as if they would, because repairing structures just costs resources. However, it is much better than just losing a tank and having to rebuild it. Especially these incredibly heavy tanks. It is way better to repair one than it is to get a whole brand new one. APC Saints too? Okay, never mind about the APCs. But going mass French tanks, I will say the FT-17s, don't rely on that as a go-to. Don't rush the French tanks, because if it fails, your economy is going kaput. Because it costs, I'm going to show you real quick before I end the video. It costs 700 metal for one of these fuckers. 700 metal for an FT, which is not good, and 7 population. The population just really kills you with France. Like, French population is just, you have to have over 150 population to get a sizable army. And I think that's one of the reasons a lot of other units rely so heavily on planes, on Air Force, and high armor, is because because the population is just so high. Look at this FCM 17 population. The German mouse tank costs 16 population, I believe. Yes, I think that's right. I have the fact check for that one actually. Um, again APC again 7 population. It's not. It's just an APC variant. It's just a heavy. I mean, to be fair, it's way better than the normal APC. I will say that because normal APC doesn't have as nearly as much armor as this does. But it costs 800 metal. It costs more metal for the FT than the APC. I'm sorry. It costs more metal for the APC than the FT. And the APC is just a. It's just an APC basically. It's just an armored APC. It's not great. It's just like it's good for dealing with infantry, but it's not that great. The FC, however, is a fucking beast. I've used these guys. I've used these guys whenever I go France, like a IR2 France, like late game, and I have the resources for it. I always get like at least one FC because it's so good. It is so good. The twin variant. Never get the 2C. The 2C sucks. But the FCM is just way too good in my opinion. The armor value and the damage is perfect. And now that you can shoot in 2 different directions at once. So while he's moving, like, so you got infantry on one side and armor on the other. The armor, like the big turret, go for the armor. The little one can go for the infantry, or vice versa. You can just shoot 2 directions at once, and it's amazing. So yeah, I would highly recommend if you're going France, don't rely heavy on their FTs, but if you do get the chance, get some FCMs. These guys don't go down. And also get some engineers. The engineers are actually very, very useful. Not many, very few people actually use the engineers because it's not useful, because your armor is going to be destroyed, and in some cases it's actually cheaper to get a whole brand new one than it is to repair one on the field, and you don't have to waste time. You just immediately, spawn new, get a bunch of factories, spawn a new one, pop, you're done. Although if you are going heavy armor, yeah, you definitely use like the heavy armor. Get some engineers and follow it around, because you will 100% need to repair those tanks. Because if those tanks are gone, you then have to wait so long to get a new one. So yeah, that's been my video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you all enjoyed.